Hey, mahal everyone, welcome back again to the Broadway Saiyan YouTube channel. I am your host 40 and we are back with another video on Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, again focusing on the global version of the game. In today's video, I'm going to be covering the next upcoming character event featuring CID HIGHWIND from Final Fantasy VII with the event entitled Space Dream. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the details for this upcoming character event. So FF7 CID HIGHWIND, he's going to be soaring into Global DFFOO as a ranged wind damage dealer, specializing in changing his brave attack and HP attack to unique abilities. Being affiliated with the blue crystal, CID statistically excels in speed and HP. Unfortunately though, the rest of his stats are a little bit on the lower side, but we'll get into that as we move forward with this video. His 35 CP Gigas armlet is now going to be available for purchase in the armor token shop, and we will be getting 2 free copies of that from his event. And remember, we're also going to be getting 1 free copy of his 15 CP weapon after we clear up to stage 5. Zell and Rem are going to be the synergy characters joining CID, and they're going to be joining him combating the new Rampage machine boss for this event. So CID's abilities. His ability 1 is called Hyper Jump. So this is going to be a one-hit range brave attack. It's also going to be granting him a unique buff called Jump Gear for 2 turns, and it's also going to be changing his brave attack to a command called Boost Jump. Jump Gear is going to be raising his attack and max brave. His ability 2 is called Dragon Dive. So it's a one-hit range brave plus HP attack this time. It's also wind element, and then it also grants him a Dragon Gear unique buff for 2 turns, and it also changes his HP attack to Dragon Command. Now, Dragon Gear, just like Jump Gear, also raises his attack and max brave. So 2 different unique buffs to raise attack and max brave, which for a DPS unit, that's actually pretty good. His Boost Jump command, which is what his brave attack changes into when you have Jump Gear, is a one-hit range wind brave attack with low action delay. And then Dragon is going to be the command that his HP attack changes into when you have Dragon Gear. So this restores his HP up to 15% of his max HP after he inflicts an HP attack with Dragon, and it has a low action delay. And the amount that it heals him is also based on the amount of HP damage he deals. So overall, as a DPS wind ranged unit, he's actually pretty good. As simple as his skill kit looks, he's pretty good, and I like how he has a way to self-sustain himself. Now, I am going to be releasing a CID good or not good video, so we'll dive deeper into that and with the kind of character and whether or not he's going to be good when he comes out in global. But that's going to be his ability. So, taking a look at his crystal passives, Hyper Jump power up, increasing the brave damage of that ability. Definitely want to give it to him. Buff attack up, I would give it to him too, because the rest of his stats outside of his HP and speed are low. Chase bonus, brave damage up during a chase sequence. I personally wouldn't, only because it would make sense if his abilities actually somehow influenced or initiated the chase sequence, kind of like Lael or Dark Knight Cecil or Cloud. But because he doesn't, I'd say probably want to pass on that passive. Dragon Dive power up, definitely want to give it to him. Critical speed up, doesn't need it. He's already fast enough as it is. Hyper Jump charge, you do want it. Buff boost, max brave while buff. You could opt for this because again, the rest of his stats are low. Dragon Dive charge, definitely want to give it to him. And then the Captain's Bark. When recovering HP, if excess amount exceeds max HP, 50% is divided amongst allies, and the healing value is limited to 10% of each ally's max HP. So kind of similar to, I believe, Lena's last level 50 crystal passive. So this one could be useful, but the thing is that CID's Dragon command, I feel like, is more of a way for him to self-sustain. So he's not really going to be like a healer for the party. He's mainly going to be healing himself with that ability. So it's cool and all, but I think he doesn't really need it. So overall, his crystal passives I actually like them. They're pretty good for the most part. They definitely help out his kit. Now, his artifact passives are as follows: Brave Guard up, 1-star and 2-star. Defense increase depending on which one you have. When its brave is over 50% of his max brave. Buffed initiative, he gets a speed up whenever he's buffed. Mighty Hyper Jump and Mighty Dragon Dive, increasing the brave damage of his respective abilities. His top priority passives I would definitely prioritize are the attack plus 108 because he's a DPS unit. Max brave plus 330, again, he is a DPS unit, so those are the 2 most important artifacts I would give to him. And then afterwards, Mighty Dragon Dive because it is a one-hit brave plus HP attack. And then Mighty Hyper Jump. Those are the artifact passives that I would definitely prioritize farming up if you want to use CID. Now, there's a new summoning banner, and this time it's going to be featuring 4 new weapons. So it's going to be having the 5-star 15 CP slash lance for Cid. So his hyper jump and boost jumps are going to get a damage output increase. It also is going to be improving that jump gear unique buff and extending the duration for Cid. His 5-star 35 CP javelin will be available too. It's going to be increasing Dragon Dive's damage output. It's also going to be giving it the ability to dispel 1 buff from the target. It's also going to be increasing its max usage by +1, and it's going to be improving his Dragon Gear unique buff, extending the duration, and raising the HP recovery limit of his special Dragon command. 5-star 35 CP Rune Dagger will also be available for Rem. So this time the Brave gain that it gives for swap turns is going to be increased, and it's going to lower the action delay. It's also going to be increasing the potency of the max Brave up that she gives and extends the duration. And it also now is going to grant a small speed up to not only herself, but also the targeted ally for 5 turns. So very, very nice. And then 5-star 35 CP Gauntlet for our boy Zell. He's going to be getting a max usage increase for his Booyah by +2. He's going to be increasing the damage output of both Booyah and Meteor Barrage. It's going to be extending the duration of the dual unique buff he gives to himself, as well as increasing the defense down debuff he inflicts and granting himself a small physical attack up for 6 turns. So, what are my thoughts on this banner? So, for me, I actually think the most interesting weapon on this banner is going to be Rem. I think it's been a while since Rem has actually seen any sort of spotlight for being a support unit and a healer, because she's been completely overshadowed recently with what we've been getting. So for you Rem fans, I think this is a great banner to pull on for her. For Zell, he's another DPS unit, but he's kind of like one of those DPS units that needs to set himself up. If you like Zell, he's there for you. And then if you like Cid, I would pull on this banner if you did not pull for Kayn, because Cid has some similarities to Kayn. But overall, because the level 60 Awakening is just around the corner, and more than likely after that we'll be seeing the first batch of EX weapons being slowly released, if you guys are free to play or you guys are picking which banners you want to pull on, this is probably a pass. But if you're lacking some DPS or you want to try Rem out for some nice strategic, different kind of a support unit, then definitely pull on this banner. Alright, so talking about the Rampage Machine boss. So we're going to be getting a new boss called the Rampage Machine. There's going to be 2 of them that we're going to be fighting. So they both have that chase HP value of 40, which is standard for bosses. They have 4 weaknesses, being to thunder, water, wind, and ranged attacks. However, they are resistant to ice. They utilize mainly range brave attacks and a little bit of magic brave attacks. One of their buffs is called Electromagnetic Barrier, which not only do they give themselves some brave, but they also increase their resistance to physical and magic damage. They have an ability called Shooting Spree, which is an AoE Brave plus HP attack, and the Brave damage on this is randomly dispersed out, so you want to be aware of that. And then they do employ a unique buff, or one of them will employ a unique buff at the start of the battle. It's like one of the first commands that they use, where any HP damage they receive is reduced by 50%. So even if, let's say, your max brave is all the way up to 10,000, your current brave is at 10,000, and then you use that HP attack, they're not gonna, that particular Rampage Machine is not gonna be receiving that full HP damage. So you wanna keep that in mind, and this is why if you're using Cid for this and you have his 35 CP, that dispel, that 1 buff dispel is very important on his Dragon Dive ability. And then again, being a machine killer, one character that you could use for this event is Edgar, because both of these enemies are machines. So some tips to prepare: you want to definitely farm up some blue crystal passives, or blue crystals for Cid's passives. If you haven't built up, use Rem and Zell for synergy bonus. Now, some effective characters, I know there's more than this, but some effective characters that are non-synergy that you could use are Edgar, Edge, Lightning, Kayn, Shantoto, and Garnet. I know there's others that I probably didn't mention, but these are some options that you could consider using. For single player, you can opt to summon with Ifrit for that attack buff, Ramu, and Leviathan, obviously because of the Rampage Machine's weakness. And then for co-op, you're probably going to go with Sylph and then Chocobo. That way you guys have faster clear, especially when doing this with co-op. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and move forward with some gameplay footage from my JP account showcasing the upcoming Cid event for the global version of Dissidia Opera Omnia. Let's go ahead and move forward with that. Alrighty guys, here we are following my discussion for the upcoming character event featuring CID HIGHWIND for Dissidia Global Opera Omnia. This is going to be gameplay footage that I'm going to show you guys for the upcoming CID event. So I'm going to be taking Cid, Zell, and Rem as they are the synergy characters. Now for the purposes of the video, since my Zell is above level 50, I did remove some of the passives that influence his abilities. That way you guys are seeing something a little bit more accurate. I do have Zell's EX weapon, so I will be showing that off to you guys at least. So let's go ahead and tackle this event. Again, the boss that we're going to be fighting for this is called the Rampage machine. Alrighty, so okay, so I'm just gonna go plow through these as normal. I'll start using Cid's abilities when we actually get to the second round or so. So again, we know that Cid has two unique buffs that are granted to him whenever you use one of his abilities. So we're actually going to take a look at them. Let's actually take a look at one of them here. So we're going to go ahead and use Hyper Jump. Okay, so as you can see right there, we're going to go ahead and highlight this, but it gives him a unique buff that called Jump Gear, which increases his attack and his max Brave. And remember, it changes his Brave attack command to Boost Jump. Alright, so with Zell, let's just do a standard Brave attack, and let's go ahead and finish this enemy off. Next round, I'll show you guys his Dragon Dive. Now, I don't have his 35 CP passive, so we're going to be getting the vanilla effect version of it. But it's still cool. I'll still go ahead and show it to you guys. Alright, so show it to you here as soon as this bird collapses. Alright, so this is going to be Dragon Dive. So this changes his HP command into Dragon, which is that self-sustaining ability. And remember, Dragon also heals him, so it heals him and does just straight up HP damage. Okay. Alright, and let's actually take a look at Dragon here. And it does heal him based on the amount of HP damage he deals, but remember, it caps out at equal to 50% of, or 15% of his max HP. Right. So one more wave of mobs, and then we're going to go ahead and see the new Rampage machine boss, which we'll be seeing in Global. Alright, so here we go. So again, there's going to be two of them, and the one unique buff that I do want to show you that one of them does is the one where they reduce the amount of HP damage that they receive. So as you can see, they start off not targeting anyone because they're going to be buffing themselves. Now, I actually want to show you Zell's EX. So this is his EX. So that is his EX, which is really, really cool. And let's go ahead and just Brave Attack this one. We're going to use Hyper Jump. And with Rem, let's go ahead and swap turns. Okay, and let's HP attack this one. And hopefully we can see that unique buff that one of them applies to themselves, so you guys get to see a visual of what I was talking about during the discussion. Okay, so that one applied it. So let's actually deal some HP damage to A here. Okay, so 5,000. And as you can see, he didn't eat the full amount of damage. And we're actually going to do it again. That might have been a bad example because of that ability is AoE. So let's go ahead and do this one instead. And as you can see right there, he only took 3,000. So that is the one thing that you want to watch out for. Whenever one of them does that unique buff to themselves that reduces the amount of HP damage they receive. Okay, let's see a little bit more of some Cid action here because he is the highlighted character. Let's go ahead and just look at Dragon Dive again. There we go. Alright, with Zell. So we're going to take this one out. As you can see, the HP damage that he's taking is a lot less compared to because he has that unique buff on. So I can foresee that definitely for the EX version of this event when it goes live on Global to probably be the tough part, like dealing with that particularly that way. That's why definitely if you're going to be using Cid, if you have his 35 CP, if you pull his 35 CP weapon, having that dispel will definitely help. So we're going to use Zell's EX, but again, the HP damage is going to be reduced. As you can see, it was only 8,000 where it should have been 20,000. All right, but this one is by itself. Okay, so this one's almost down. Let's have maybe Cid can deal the finishing blow, and yes, there we go. All right, well, hopefully this gameplay showcase for the upcoming Cid event hypes you guys up for Cid. I know there's some Cid fans out there and gets you guys prepared for what's to come for the global version of Dissidia Opera Omnia. Once again, if you guys enjoyed these videos, be sure to consider hitting that subscribe button and also turning on that notification bell. That way you guys are aware when I post a new video on the channel. All right, guys, this is 40 the Broadway saying, stay tuned for the next video, and mahal, everyone.